spark something.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. So I wondered if you could talk to us about the military experience that you had that prompted you to write the Commandments, which is another one of the pieces that we did on the CD.
Yeah, and the 23rd Psalm.
Yes.
As a soldier, you're saying that a lot.
Uh-huh.
And in the Bulge, it came in handy.
So you were at the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And the Valley of Death.
That's right.
Oh, it is a bad scene.
Very. And where did the Commandments come from? What's the link there for you?
Because everyone fighting had some kind of background, usually in Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the soldiers had come from Italy. It's hard to think they were our enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Germany,
Right.
even the United States. We're all people that grew up with the commandments.
Right.
And there's all this death and destruction
Yeah.
going on. Why haven't we paid attention to the commandments? And I said to myself, someday I'm going to write about this.
Yes.
And I couldn't do it. I couldn't get going.
Mm-hmm.
Only took me maybe 40 years to
Right.
finish the one you did.
That's right. That's right. Well, it's a phenomenal piece of music.
Yeah, it's almost a fugue.
Yes. And so, did this interest in the fugue come from your study of music with Darius Milhaud?
Oh, you know it. He would drill into you Bach's so-called rules.
Right.
That no parallel fourths or fifths and no
Nothing.
skips, which unfortunately I haven't kept the rules all the time.
Well, Bach didn't keep them either all the time.
Yeah, right.
It's true.
But he grounded us only in Bach chorales.
Really?
I mean, that's the only thing he'd assign.
Hmm.
And you're free after that. But you better try and get the chorales right.
Yeah. And so, when you were working with him, were you writing any choral music at that point, or any vocal music at all?
At that point, I was only writing for the piano.
Okay.
And I'd just come back from the service, and I'd been away from everything that I loved for 4 years.
Right.
And on the GI Bill, you could go and study at a place like Mills College,
Right.
which is a girls' school.
Right. Private college in Oakland.
Yeah. And a lot of my friends, we all went to Emilio because he's the first composer to use the jazz idiom
That's right.
in Creation of the World, a ballet. It's still a wonderful piece.
Yes.
But I was so used to being put down for being a jazz musician
Right.
by classical teachers,
It's true.
except a few, and then Darius Milhaud, who encouraged you to use jazz. He said, this is the music that identifies a composer from the United States,
That's right.
like Duke Ellington,
Louis
Gershwin,
Armstrong.
Louis, yeah, Gershwin, though,
That's right.
and many, many other composers started slowly using the jazz idiom.
Right.
Emile believed in it a lot. He said it, I hate to paraphrase it, but this is close to what he told me,
Mm-hmm.
is jazz changed the art of European art.
Right.
In ballet, the African influence.
That's right.
In painting, it changed.
Mm-hmm.
And in music, it certainly changed our approach. Many of us were influenced by jazz.
Right.
So, you know, jazz is still our most important music.
Oh, I agree with you. For Americans.
Yeah, it's there. If you go to a movie, it's hidden in the score. If you go to a Broadway show, it's there.
Right.
If you turn on the radio, it's there.
Yeah.
And people are saying, I don't know what jazz is. And I can't believe it. They're hearing it
All the time.
all the time and don't know it.
Right.
If they're not hearing pure jazz, they're hearing the influence of jazz.
That's right. That's right.
And it speaks almost worldwide for freedom. And I've toured many places
Yes.
where the musicians will come up to me and say, you've given us a reason to use our folk music.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and especially in Poland, these great Polish musicians were so influenced by jazz,
That's really
saying, well, we can do the same thing,
right.
which they'd done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in Russia,
Yes.
of course, the lid's always on all the artists.
Right.
The great Shostakovich and so many other artists were just stopped.
Right. It's true.
And we went there and did my mass
Yes.
with the Russian National Orchestra, Symphony Orchestra, and the Orlov Choir.
Hmm.
And when I went to rehearsal, I looked at the choir and I saw the women were all wearing crucifixes.
Right.
And I said to myself, these people are old enough to have lived through Stalin,
That's right.
and that crucifix would have sent them to Siberia, or worse.
Or worse.
And yet they all had hidden them and were so much into their form of Catholicism,
Right.
um,
The Orthodox.
Orthodox. And all the cathedrals, all the icons and
Yes.
everything were torn out. You go to a cathedral and they're bare. They just wanted to destroy music.
Right.
And their own music was so great. And those
It's true.
poor composers were fighting.
Yeah.